and I now look to Steve DeAngelo for closing remarks in opposition of the motion.
There are some drugs it may be wise to say no to. Alcohol, for example, which is responsible for 10% of disease and deaths in the UK. Or tobacco, which kills 17% of people aged 35 or over. Or prescription painkillers, which kill hundreds and thousands of people in this country, but kill tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in the United States. All of these drugs cause massive social and individual harm. They kill millions of people every year. Yet, we have already said yes to them. They are legal. But cannabis, illegal for the most part still, has never, in thousands of years of human consumption, ever killed anybody. Even massive, enormous doses of cannabis are not capable of causing organ failure or death. In fact, cannabis is one of the safest and most potent therapeutic substances on the planet. It is cited in almost every ancient medical text for medical uses ranging from childbirth issues to cancer to epilepsy to pain. It was brought to Western medicine by Dr. William O'Shaughnessy, a British East India surgeon stationed in Calcutta, where he learned of the widespread use of cannabis in Ayurvedic medicine. O'Shaughnessy conducted the first scientific experiments into cannabis, and he concluded that indeed it was effective for rheumatism, for cholera, for tetanus, for hydrophobia, again for epilepsy and many other conditions. He was such a fan that he manufactured a potent cannabis extract, Squire's syrup, and upon his return to England in 1841, imported it. Cannabis was enthusiastically adopted by many British physicians, including Sir John Russell Reynolds, physician to Queen Victoria's household. Sir John saw cannabis as being effective for both great maladies and more routine complaints. He prescribed it, or he recommended it as being the most effective treatment for what we now call Alzheimer's, also prescribed it for the Queen's menstrual cramps. In 1893, Parliament ordered the first and what is still possibly the most comprehensive governmental study of cannabis, the East India Drugs Commission. They interviewed over 1,000 witnesses, including cannabis users, Ayurvedic practitioners, British surgeons, colonial administrators, law enforcement officials, and their report was crystal clear. Cannabis, when used in moderation, is not appreciably harmful. It is not injurious to the mind, and it is not connected to criminality. Every serious, evidence-based government study of cannabis since then has come to the same conclusions. And common sense, everyday observation would tend to confirm them. If cannabis really did the things that its critics say that it does, our jails and insane asylums would be overflowing with cannabis users. Our streets would be erupting with cannabis violence and mayhem, and ever-growing armies of junkies would be a constant menace. We now have hundreds of modern, peer-reviewed scientific studies that validate and confirm almost all of the uses cited in the ancient medical texts. And they've found some new ones for diseases, grave, hard-to-treat diseases like AIDS, HIV, cerebral palsy, and multiple sclerosis. The key to our modern understanding of cannabis was the discovery in the early 1990s of a previously unknown neurotransmitter system, the endocannabinoid system. Endogenously, internally, manufactures many of the same or virtually identical chemical compounds that are found in the cannabis plant. It is present in our brain, all of our organs, our connective tissue, our skin, almost every place in the human body. And wherever it is, its purpose remains the same: the maintenance of a stable internal environment despite the external influences, or our body's state of natural balance. My favorite illustration of the way that this works comes from Israel, an Israeli senior center study. All of the participants there reported an immediate improvement in mood, a reduction in nightmares, a reduction in pharmaceutical drug consumption. But for me, the most interesting results came to weight. Underweight patients gained body weight and came closer to the ideal body mass. Overweight patients lost weight and came closer to their ideal body mass. This balancing, modulating effect of cannabis. It fights cancer in a similar way. Cancer cells grow by appropriating blood vessels used for other purposes. The introduction of cannabis causes those blood vessels to wither and shrink, and eventually the cancer cells die without horrible side effects, without damaging surrounding tissue. So just on the basis of its safety and of the therapeutic effectiveness of cannabis, it is something that we should say yes to. But the benefits of cannabis don't end with fighting illness. In fact, they really just sort of start to begin there. Okay? Cannabis is a safe and natural remedy for some of the most vexing, frustrating, persistent challenges of modern life: stress, anxiety, anger management, right? Low libido, indigestion, a remarkable remedy for all of these issues. Then there's a whole range of what I call the overlooked wellness benefits of cannabis. And these are things that are often dismissed as just getting high, even by people who use cannabis themselves, right? And I'm thinking now about things like the ability of cannabis to spark creativity, right? Or to extend a sense of patience, or to wake up a sense of play, right? Its ability to enhance the flavor of a meal, the sound of music, the smell of a flower, the touch of a lover's skin. Its ability to inspire introspection and kindness and compassion, to facilitate a more profound spiritual connection, right? To heighten appreciation for nature, and to promote the more peaceful resolution of conflict. Now, these are qualities that we should say yes to in any society and at any time. But in today's world, where we are plagued, we are threatened with our very existence by violence and by pollution and by intolerance, these qualities might not just turn out to be simply desirable, simply worthwhile, simply valuable. Yeah? They could end up being absolutely critical and essential to our survival as a species and to the survival of this planet. So if there was ever a plant to say yes to, that plant is cannabis. And if there was ever a time to say yes, that time is now. Thank you.